Snake Oil is the best external application on the market for bicyclists and athletes. It makes the muscles supple and relaxes the cords, allowing for greater mobility, stamina, and endurance. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, Finny Snake Oil is the absolute best thing your money can buy when it comes to arthritis. It loosens the joints and gives a feeling of freshness and vigor to the whole system, while relieving you of all your bodily aches and pains. Finny Snake Oil, now available at your local drugstore or at any Daily Allen Jones ether trading post. And now we present this week's edition of Mystery Radio Theater and the adventures of Frank Boddy, Detective.
Can I help you? Hello. I was sent by Sergeant Bradbury of the Port Raleigh Police Department. I believe Detective Boddy is expecting me.
Sure, hon. 1 sec. Frank, two ladies here to see you.
Yeah, send her in.
You can go on back, hon.
Thank you.
Ah, Lady M, our local celebrity. Ray said you'd be stopping by. So, what can I do for you today?
Thank you for taking the time to see me, Mr. Boddy. As you may have heard, the Temporal Engineering Alliance has chosen Port Raleigh to host the first ever World's Fair. As you can imagine, this will be placing a huge burden on Port Raleigh's Police Department, as they have graciously agreed to manage security for the event.
Yeah, Ray's worried they might have to hire some Irish boys from outside the department to help with crowd control. Are you expecting that many people to show up?
Oh, yes. Population around here is going to increase significantly during that time. The Port Raleigh PD will certainly have their hands full maintaining order and keeping the peace.
And they won't have time to go digging around asking the important questions while they're herding all the cats, am I right?
Correct. I take it Sergeant Bradbury has actually spoken to you?
Briefly. Let me see if I got this straight. You folks over at the T are all up in arms over some artifacts you recently found. He said they're made out of some material that'll make you go crazy if you handle it too much. Is that right?
For the most part, that's accurate.
Great. So, now you folks want to host some kind of tea party and invite military bigwigs from all points of time and space to come and discuss the implications of your discovery.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, Ray was a little fuzzy with the rest of the story. I got something about a bunch of locals who read tea leaves and hold seances who are causing you some problems?
Not exactly. The group Sergeant Bradbury was referring to is known as the Sir Walter Society, a group of 6 wealthy socialites who share an interest in the occult. There are rumors floating around Port Raleigh that they have been collecting artifacts identical to the one we have found. They may possess information that would be helpful to our research.
I take it they don't want to play nice with you folks.
They are being difficult. It seems they are all a little eccentric and paranoid. I've made several attempts to speak with them in person to no avail. Our concern is that they may indeed be in possession of one or more of these artifacts and are not storing it properly. You see, Detective, these artifacts are made out of a material that emits a low-level radiation field that over time causes a progressive mutation in normal, healthy cells.
Making you crazy, right?
Insanity is the most common side effect of prolonged exposure. We've yet to determine if the effect is curable or reversible. There are only a few known cases, so our information is limited. Still, we have at least determined the cause for concern, especially if these items are not stored properly.
Let me guess. You want me to shake down the society, rattle their cages, and see if I can't get them to confirm your suspicions?
Exactly. Sergeant Bradbury said that you have worked for or investigated practically everyone in Port Raleigh at one time or another. He said you could get a Sphinx to spill its secrets. We would greatly appreciate it if you could investigate the Sir Walter Society and report back to me on your findings. If you discover that they do indeed have an artifact, do nothing. Just find out as much as you can and let me know. We'll take it from there.
Trust me, lady. After what you just told me, I don't want to go anywhere near that thing. So, let's see here. It's a 6-person investigation, which means a couple of days of legwork. That'll cost you $75 a day plus expenses.
That's a little steep, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe. Sure, they come cheaper, but you won't find any better, lady. Not in this town. Plus, I'm charging you a little extra for this case because there's the added risk I could possibly go insane.
Fair enough. Do we have an agreement then?
We do. So, did you bring me a list?
Yes, I have it right here.
Great. Let's see here. Mustard. Really? Scar right. Oh, I'm going to have fun with this.
Is something amusing?
I'll say. I've already investigated half of these folks. I'll start with the Colonel. He'll be ever so joyed to see me again. I know exactly what buttons to push with him. If we're lucky, he'll just spurt out what we need to know in the first 5 minutes and we can call it a day.
That sounds encouraging. Is there anything else you need from me?
A $20 retainer fee is customary. However, given your celebrity status, I'll waive that fee if I can say later that I was your first choice in detectives. It'll be great advertising.
Mr. Boddy, you were my only choice. There are no other private detectives in Port Raleigh.
And as long as you keep telling everybody that, I won't charge a retainer fee.
Good day, detective. Let me know when you found something.
Hey, Doris?
Yeah, Frank?
We need a couple of folders from the archives. Bring me the case files on Colonel Mustard, the Scarlet Affair, and that missing persons on Dr. White.
You got it, Frank. Anything else?
Yeah, after you bring me those files, brew me a fresh pot and lock up on your way out. I'll see you tomorrow. Will Detective Boddy crack the case before it begins, or will investigating the Sir Walter Society prove more difficult than Frank expects? Tune in next week for the next installment of Mystery Radio Theater and the adventures of Frank Boddy, Detective. Mystery Radio Theater and the Adventures of Frank Boddy, Detective is produced by Contemporary 2014 and Port Riley Productions. It was recorded in the Mistress's Closet recording studios on March 30th, 1933. Our chief sound engineer is Mike Monahan. Our equipment is provided by Jamin and Jewel Skipper, featuring the voice talents of Heath Jones as Frank Boddy, Stacey Jones-Bain as Doris, and Markel Lynch as Lady M. Contemporary 2014 is an experiential steampunk convention that invites you to step into the story. Join us on June 27th through the 29th at the North Raleigh Hilton for our third annual extravaganza. Once again, we remind you that this installment is brought to you by Finney Snake Oil. As a special promotion for this week only, type in the code SNAKEOIL when you order your advanced convention tickets to receive a special discount off your purchase. That's Snake Oil, SNAKEOIL, to receive a special discount off advanced tickets this week only. Thank you and have a good night. Programming note, you can see Frank Boddy live June 27th to 29th in Port Raleigh. More information is available on the Aether Network at www.contemporal.org or on the Robot Network at Contemporal Rada Niktu. Up next, Cooking with Humans.